cast lots.
Did anybody want to talk about the video that I sent out?
Oh, I thought it was great, Mike.
Not true.
Talk to your wife.
That was funny.
John, anything you want to say about I'm Available?
It's a great song. All right, Revelation 18.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, really quick. The very quick backstory. We did a series. It was after the Purpose of Life thing. Okay, that whole big thing that came out in 2003. We did a series on something else that Saddleback did, which was called Shape. Spiritual gifts,
Oh, yeah, we did
whatever.
that at KCC.
The whole shape thing or whatever. So I did a series on shape, and we went through the whole thing. And I thought I had this brilliant idea
Oh, no.
that we would close the service, 3 different services. We would close it singing that song, I'm Available, which I love the song. Well, I got nothing but grief for doing I Am Available. And to this day, I still hear about I Am Available. I can't hear the song anymore without the grief.
And I can't hear without laughing.
All right.
I'm like, everyone agrees, Mom.
Revelation 18. This is a fun chapter.
Bless you.
It's really important that we go back
Oh, I get it.
and we read, okay? Because Revelation 17 and Revelation 18 go hand in hand, okay?
So we get to say "or" again?
We get to say whore many times. Yeah. So we're going to, or prostitutes, or whatever other names we would like to use.
Women of the night.
Women of the night, yes. We're going to go through.
One of your favorite words, fornication.
Oh my gosh, we are not going to
That's
go anywhere.
We're never going to do that.
Brandon said maybe Babylon is Jugville.
Jugville 2.
Yeah. One of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and said to me. By the way, 17:1.
Thanks.
Yeah. Just in case you were wondering.
Okay, yeah.
Came and said to me.
Which version are you reading?
I'm reading the NIV.
Thanks.
Not the King James. His doesn't say fornication. Just so you know, and I'll highlight that when we get to it.
As soon as I say it,
When it comes up, you just raise your hand gently and
Yep. I got you. I got you, Ed.
Me too.
All right. Once again, one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and said to me, "Come, I will show you the punishment of the great prostitute, who sits on many waters. With her, the kings of the earth committed adultery."
I'm doing what Brandon has to do. I appreciate it. I got a couple of them, so go ahead. If you keep
I feel like
slapping
you
while
need to
we're
be
doing
doing the
so,
same
we're never
thing,
gonna
Mike.
get
Like,
it.
He did.
Oh.
That's why I laughed.
And the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries.
I love this game.
Then the angel carried me away in the
Not a drinking
spirit
game.
into a desert. There I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that was covered with blasphemous names and had 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and was glittering with gold, precious stones, and pearls. She held a golden cup in her hand, filled with abominable things and the filth of her adulteries. This title was written on her forehead: Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of the abominations of the earth. I saw that the woman was drunk with the blood of the saints, the blood of those who bore testimony to Jesus. When I saw her, I was greatly astonished. Then the angel said to me, "Why are you astonished? I will explain to you the mystery of the woman and of the beast she rides, which has the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast which you saw once was, now is not, and will come up out of the abyss and go to his destruction. The inhabitants of the earth, whose names have not been written in the book of life from the creation of the world, will be astonished when they see the beast, because he once was, now is not, and yet will come. This calls for a mind with wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 hills on which the woman sits. There are also 7 kings. 5 have not yet come. 5 have fallen, 1 is, the other has not yet come. But when he does come, he must remain for a little while. The beast who once was, and now is not, is an 8th king. He belongs to the 7 and is going to his destruction. The 10 horns you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but who for 1 hour will receive authority as kings along with the beast. They have one purpose and will give their power and authority to the beast. They will make war against the Lamb, but the Lamb will overcome them because he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And with him will be his called, chosen, and faithful followers. Then the angel said to me, the waters you saw where the prostitute sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, and languages. The beast and the 10 horns you saw will hate the prostitute. They will bring her to ruin and leave her naked. They will eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God has put it into their hearts to accomplish his purpose by agreeing to give the beast their power to rule until God's words are fulfilled. The woman you saw is the great city that rules over the kingdoms, over the kings of the earth. So that is the backstory. And I get it, there's questions. What about this? What about that? What about this? Well, our topic is 18 tonight. We're not going to go back and refresh 17. I know...
she's Jerusalem, right? Or
what's that?
she's the essence of Jerusalem? Or,
No. Babylon the Great is...
no, the woman.
Oh, yeah. The woman was... Yeah, the woman, the great prostitute.
Just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure.
The woman is Babylon the Great. Okay? Yeah. The woman you saw, verse 18, the woman you saw is the great city that rules over the kings of the earth. So the woman in 17 is also called Babylon. All right. After this, I saw another angel coming down from heaven. He had great authority, and the earth was illuminated by his splendor. With a mighty voice he shouted, "Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great. She has become a home for demons and a haunt for every evil spirit, a haunt for every unclean and detestable bird. For all the nations have drunk the maddening wine of her adulteries. The kings of the earth committed adultery with her, and the merchants of the and the merchants of the earth grew
I
rich.
can't even focus my eyes. I forgot my glasses.
The kings of the earth committed adultery with her, and the merchants of the earth grew rich from her excessive luxuries. Then I heard another voice from heaven say, "Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins, so that you will not receive any of her plagues. For her sins are piled up to heaven, and God has remembered her crimes." Bless you. "Give back to her as she has given. Pay her back double for what she has done. Mix her a double portion from her own cup. Give her as much torture and grief as the glory and luxury she gave herself. In her heart she boasts, 'I sit as queen. I am not a widow, and I will never mourn.' Therefore, in one day her plagues will overtake her. Death, mourning, and famine. She will be consumed by fire, for mighty is the Lord God who judges her." We will definitely not get any further than that tonight. Okay? There was a saying by a man by the name of Lord Byron who said these words: "When falls the Colosseum, Rome shall fall. And when Rome falls, the world." That was Lord Byron's understanding of it. That Rome, whatever Rome is, was so tied to the world that the excesses of Rome, which was known by the Colosseum, which would have been where the gladiators would have fought, the animals, all those sort of things. That's where the Christians were killed. When the Colosseum falls, so shall Rome. But when Rome falls, so will the world. That was
Well, I mean, back then, Rome basically was the world.
That's right.
Maybe not China, whatever, the east, far east, but
Correct. Correct.
He was Elijah for the King James book, is he not?
So let's read this here. After this, I saw another angel coming down from heaven. Where is John when he's receiving this revelation?
He was sitting on Patmos, wasn't he? Yeah.
Island.
Yeah, but there are times when we see him in heaven. And so he's,
I believe he's in heaven now watching this happen, right?
it looks to me like he's on the earth.
now.
It looks like he's on the earth.
Is he still in the wilderness where he was with that other spirit?
Yeah, I think what you're talking about is verse 17, Sarah?
Yeah, because it didn't say that he snapped out of it. He didn't say that he came back. So I would imagine since
Yeah,
they're addressing the whore itself.
good catch there, Sarah. Yeah, verse 3, then the angel, chapter 17, verse 3, then the angel carried me away in the spirit into a desert. Now, why would desert matter?
didn't Jesus spend time in the desert, wilderness?
Okay.
And weren't they supposed to flee to the desert at some point?
Certainly
One of
they
the
will,
previous
they'll run to
chapters?
the desert,
Oh,
running
yeah.
out into the wilderness when the tribulation period comes. What city was in the desert?
Egypt.
Egypt is in kind of a desert?
That's not a city though. It's
That's not a
Yeah,
city.
yeah. Babylon.
oh.
So we will, because where is Babylon? If we're speaking literally of Babylon, where is Babylon?
Modern day Turkey. No,
Iraq?
Iraq.
Modern day Iraq. Yep. The Medes and the Persians were modern day Iran. The Babylonians were modern day Iraq.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this angel comes down from heaven. He has great authority, and the earth was illuminated by his splendor. One of the things we see throughout this is angels have no authority in and of themselves. Everything is given to them. But this angel was given great authority, it says, and the earth was illuminated by his splendor. We see angels in the Old Testament. Angels show up. They're not lit up on fire or something. Even Hebrews 13 tells us, hey, by the way, don't forget to show hospitality because you never know. You might be entertaining an angel.
They didn't all have a glow around their head.
Yeah, right. They don't always, they don't all have the little halo thing but we also do know, think about when the angels announced the arrival of Jesus. What happened?
They lit up the sky.
They lit up the sky. And the shepherds were absolutely crapping their pants because of it. Very, very nervous about the whole thing. With a mighty voice he shouted, fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great. Okay, so who is Babylon the Great?
Great city.
Today.
The whore.
You just wanted to say it, didn't you? Who is Babylon the Great? So, a couple different options here. One of the options is that this is the actual Mesopotamian city. A literal reading of it that, just as the Spirit carries him away into the desert, that John is going over there to be able to see, I'm seeing this city, I'm seeing this thing. There are plenty of scholars out there who think that that the city that he is referring to is a literal in the region of Iraq, that it is a literal city of Babylon, and we see it as there's no
A vision is what we see it as.
right. But what they're saying, what even some of the scholars that I was reading on this, they're saying that this very well could be a much more glorified city than we know today. Interesting, because if you go back to chapter 17, verse 5, this title was written on her forehead. Mystery, Babylon the Great. What does mystery mean?
They don't really know.
What?
Mystery
It's a
is
mystery.
the word
Unknown.
mysterion. Mysterion, which in our English translates as what?
The
Mystery.
Big unknown, isn't it?
Secret.
Yeah, secret.
When we see mysterion, we tend to, if I see the word mystery, what do I think?
Something you gotta
I think
solve.
of clues that are scattered around, and if I can just figure out the clues to put it together, then I can understand the mystery. You know, it was a mystery, but man, I saw the clues. We figured it out. Johnny he killed the guy. We knew it. But in this particular case, mysterion literally means secret, unrevealed. So when she's got mystery on her forehead, it's almost a clue. This may not be what we think it is. Okay? This may not be Babylon as we know it. But it also may not be the Babylon that we currently see. Maybe it's something more. So one option is the actual Mesopotamian city or region of it. I want you to turn in your Bibles to Isaiah 21, verse 9.
That one doesn't exist now, right?
It does. It's just not called Babylon.
I didn't even get to way out.
Nope.
This map has a quote-unquote Babylon located south of Baghdad.
Okay, yeah, that's
21 what, please?
Isaiah
9.
21, verse 9.
My study got the link there.
Oh, we did.
Good job, Seth. You're advanced.
We could look at even Isaiah 21, 1 through 10, actually. If you look at your heading, which headings are not inspired, I get that, but
Fall of Babylon proclaimed.
Prophecy against Babylon.
a prophecy against Babylon. Yeah. An oracle concerning the desert by the sea. Remember the desert that John was carried off to? You know. Now Isaiah, when is Isaiah writing his book? Any idea when Isaiah was written?
Depends on which half.
Let me go to the front.
This is the first half.
The 6th century?
No, 700s. 700s BC. So,
Isaiah ministry is 740 to 681.
yep. So we're talking late 700s, early 600s, which means low numbers and high numbers.
To
So,
stay on.
yeah. So Isaiah's writing this a long time before this is happening, but he has this oracle in which he's writing things. And so if you look at verse 6. This is what the Lord says to me. Go, post a lookout, and have him report what he sees. When he sees chariots with teams of horses, riders on donkeys, or riders on camels, let him be alert, fully alert. And the lookout shouted, Day after day, my Lord, I stand on the watchtower. Every night I stay at my post. Look, here comes a man in a chariot with a team of horses. And he gives back the answer. Babylon has fallen. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? All the images of its gods lie shattered on the ground. In this particular passage against Babylon, Isaiah is writing this, as if he's standing in Jerusalem on the watch, and he's looking for word back from what's happening there. And so all of a sudden he sees this team of people. They're coming back from a literal Babylon, announcing Babylon has fallen. And yet, Babylon is not going to fall for well over 100 years at this point in time. Babylon doesn't actually come crumbling down until about 539 BC. So we're talking 700s to late 600s, and they're not going to. So it's 150 years from now before Babylon's going to fall. Another thing, we're going to be coming back to this, Jeremiah 51. Isaiah, Jeremiah. So. Jeremiah 51, verses 6 through 11.
Can you read it?
class. Flee from Babylon. Run for your lives. Do not be destroyed because of her sins. It is time for the Lord's vengeance. He will pay her what she deserves.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. We can stop now.
Okay. Babylon was a gold cup in the Lord's hand. She made the whole earth drunk. The nations drank her wine. Therefore, they have now gone mad.
Wow.
That sounds current.
Yeah, drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah, this is the equivalent of drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah.
The original. Yes.
Babylon will suddenly fall and be broken. Wail over her. Get balm for her pain. Perhaps she can be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she cannot be healed. Let us leave her. Isn't that crazy? Leave her. Like, let her die. Let us leave her and each go to his own land, for her judgment reaches to the skies. It rises as high as the clouds. The Lord has vindicated us. Come, let us tell in Zion what the Lord our God has done. Sharpen the arrows, take up the shields. The Lord has stirred up who? The kings of the Medes. Because his purpose is to destroy Babylon. The Lord will take vengeance for his temple. It's crazy. Jeremiah writes this definitely before the Medo-Persian Empire takes out the Babylonians. So once again, prophecies that are being given about this. Isaiah prophesies, there's got a name of Darius is going to come. Jeremiah prophesies. And there are many scholars out there, and I use that term in quotes, who struggle with this idea that no way Isaiah could have known this stuff. You're like,
God
really?
Why?
The God who spoke the worlds into existence, you don't think he can know who's going to happen? I mean, it is the idiocy of people who get really too smart for their own good.
Are these scholars believers?
Yes.
It depends. You're one of the biggest New Testament scholars out there, Bart Ehrman. He's a agnostic, so you would not identify as a Christian at all, but he does good academic work. Just some of his conclusions are wrong.
Yeah.
But we're listening and seeing Babylon destruction, but in Revelations, we are considering that this is a different but similar Babylon.
This is
Near and far.
This is the thing that we're going to see as we go through this and walk through it. When Jeremiah was writing, when Isaiah was writing, they were writing about a nation to the east of them.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what they're writing about. And they're writing that Babylon is going to fall. Now, what we're going to see as we go through this, we've talked about this many times. Near far fulfillment. Mm-hmm. We've talked about that. Mm-hmm. We're going to see there are spots here where it's like, oh, clearly this is near. In other words, Jeremiah is looking at his own lifetime. Jeremiah is looking at, or right after his lifetime, when the Medes are going to take out the Babylonians. So he's writing about something, a real nation here with this. But we're also going to see there are places where you go, well, that didn't happen. Yet. So we're going to see a near and a far. So is Babylon the Mesopotamian city of Babylon? Is it a yet to come future city of Babylon? Anyway, that's one of the main options. Another one, what is Babylon? And this is the city of Rome. To first century people, there was no better illustration of what Babylon means than contemporary Rome. So when John is writing to believers around the Roman Empire, and he's talking about this city that has tentacles out everywhere and the excesses and the luxuries and all the sort of things, it wouldn't be a hard jump to get the first century believers to go, sounds like Rome. Sounds like what we're living in right now.
Yeah.
We've talked about the different views of Revelation. The preterists would view this John as speaking about Rome. Okay? The Pastor Brandon mentioned something today I thought was really good. Rome has a feminine ending, Roma.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk here about the Queen of Rome. We're going to talk about that, or the Queen of Babylon. We're going to see some things there. So it's possible that Babylon the Great is really a reference to Rome. Now we're going to explore that a little bit. Once again, though, the preterists believe what?
It already happened.
It already happened. That the book of Revelation actually already took place, most of it, it already took place in the fall of Jerusalem, AD 70. So if you hold to the preterist view of the book of Revelation, you're kind of locked into Babylon equals Rome, because Babylon was certainly no dominant superpower in AD 70. The Romans had wiped them out. The other thing about this is it seems, if you look at 1 Peter 5, verse 13, look at verse 12, and then we'll read that. With the help of Silas, whom I regard as a faithful brother, I have written you briefly, encouraging you and testifying that this is the true grace of God. Stand fast in it. She who is in Babylon, chosen together with you, sends you her greetings, and so does my son Mark. Greet one another with a kiss of love. Where's Peter?
Rome.
But he says Babylon.
Code words.
Code words. Okay. We know that Peter was crucified. We know that Peter was in Rome. We do know that. We don't know about Peter being in literal Babylon. Also, he talks about, and so does my son Mark.
Isn't Mark his cousin or something? Or, is this
Yeah.
John Mark or is this a different Mark, John?
John Mark.
John
Yeah.
Mark?
They're not cousins.
Yeah. So it seems
Barnabas's.
like 1 Peter chapter 5 verse
John Mark was
13
Barnabas's
makes a case
that's
that
right.
Babylon was code for Rome. Okay.
How would they, and they would have other code words too, or symbols that they would use, you know, the ictus,
Ictus, yeah,
for
yeah,
example.
yep.
So it's not uncommon, that language, when you're in oppressed people, to have code words to describe certain things, especially a letter like this coming out. Not everyone, like their own read, you can't use this against Peter to say, oh, you're against the Roman Empire right now. It's being subversive.
So it is possible. That's what I'm saying. This could be Rome. That's the thing. But yet consistently uses Babylon. So it could be the Mesopotamian city or region. Remember, they were the Babylonians, so it could be the region. Also, it could be Rome. Another thing is, it could be just simply metaphorical. That Rome is really a picture of the pride of man. The pride of man. If you look in Genesis chapter 11.
One end to the other.
Yep. The way I love doing Bible studies. Genesis chapter 11.
I know where that book's at.
That's an easy one to find.
Most people do, actually. What verse? It decides which page I'm on.
Excuse me. The Tower of Babel.
Tower of Babel.
Ah.
If you look at just look at verse 1, chapter 11. Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. As men moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. Anybody know where Shinar is?
Babylonian?
Back.
Babylon.
Babylonia.
Yeah, it looks like it's maybe on the border.
Yeah. Pretty much the place where Babylon was. They found a plate in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves and not be scattered over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower that the men were building. The Lord said, "If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language so that they will not understand each other." So the Lord scattered them from there all over the earth, and they stopped building the city. That is why it is called Babel. My little footnote says that is Babylon.
Confusion is added in mine.
Yep. The word Babel sounds like the Hebrew word for confused. Because there the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth. So Babel, or Babylon, was it was the place that designated, basically, screw you, God, we're not leaving. You said to scatter and fill the earth? Nope. We're staying right here. And we're going to build a city, and we're going to do what we want to do. You can't tell us what to do. Yeah, how did it work out? Yeah. So the symbol Babylon simply is the symbol of mankind in community opposed to the things of God. So those are really our options. Now, it's interesting, as I was looking through this, I said to Brandon today, as I'm reading through Revelation 18 again, I'm thinking to myself, man, why couldn't this be capitalism? I mean, when you look at Revelation chapter 18, all the luxuries, all the things. I mean, capitalism or the economic system of the world has permeated everywhere. And capitalism has made the wealthiest people ever in terms of the amount of wealth that's there. Could it be capitalism, which would be a metaphorical use of it? The other thing was, think about the U.S. If we're talking about this just open-ended, if it doesn't have to be a region, if it doesn't have to be a place in the Middle East, if it can be anywhere, I mean, it was being in a foreign country. Boy, people, it was interesting. We would talk to young people, and they'd be like, they wanted to know more about America. Does everybody carry guns?
Yes.
Tell them yes.
What does everybody carry guns?
You want to see it?
Their comment was, why do people go to school if there's all these school shootings? Why do they even go to school? They're curious about this. And they're all like, I can't believe the Americans. They see the social media posts of all our idiot teenagers. And they're like, is everybody dumb in America? Because that's what they see. Yeah. These were youths in Curacao and Bonaire.
Okay, that's all.
This is how a lot of the world sees us.
Yeah, so they see us as dumb. Because that's what they're watching. They're watching these stupid human tricks and things like this. But
Those are funny.
But the interesting thing is,
They all want to come here.
they all want to come here. To a person,
Why?
I want to go to America.
Why?
If we have shiny
They can
things.
be like us crazy people. And
Yeah.
People and
Because
carry guns.
you can be anyone in America and you can achieve your dream. Because if you look at India, it's a caste system. It doesn't matter what you're capable of. You will always be dirt if you were born dirt. So it's like a lot of them come here because anything is possible.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
We
Pretty
need
crazy.
to preach that to ourselves.
Yeah.
That's right.
So anyway, hearing this, I'm reading this going, boy, if you start taking metaphorical, You can make this thing.
Anything.
It's reading it like a historicist,
Mm-hmm.
trying to find points in history that line up with it, when I don't think that's our job as we read it.
The futurist view, which is kind of what I would say we hold to here. I know it's kind of where I'm at.
That's what our church's doctrinal statement
Yeah.
would imply.
The futurist,
Look at it too.
the futurist view, which certainly is what we're teaching from, would hold that this is a city, whether it be code for a like Rome or something, but probably this is a rejuvenated city in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It would.
I mean, the temple is supposed to be rebuilt, so why can't Babylon be rebuilt?
Oh, look at all the money over there.
Right.
Well, if you look at Islamic immigration into Europe right now,
Or the United
you
States?
could you could be even here. You could read this.
Yeah.
The wheel could start turning.
Yeah.
I went to a really diverse high school at East Kentwood there.
It's the
but
most
even-
diverse high school in the United States of America.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
No,
East Kentwood is.
East
Yes.
Kentwood is more
We had
diverse than inner city.
96
What year did you
different
graduate?
languages spoken. 2017.
Wow.
So
83.
Speak Greek.
So then I had a fair
84.
amount
Ah.
of classmates there who were Muslim. But not enough that I would say it's like, oh, that's a lot. Megan and I, over the summer, went up to the UP. I saw a lot of Muslims.
Otherwise known as the Uper.
It threw me
Like,
off. I was
where
surprised.
in the UP did you see a lot?
Munising.
In Munising?
Like, just everywhere. I was like, oh, they're all taking vacation, or they're living up here. I'm just ignorant.
Well,
And I say that purely from a
but you
posture of
wonder,
ignorance.
but you wonder because like it gets cold up there. Like they're literally
The desert gets cold
From-
too.
Yes,
Not
but they
like
don't,
there.
but the desert
snow, but-
doesn't get 4 feet of snow
In a night.
in the winter
In a
time.
night.
10 years up there.
well. I just wondering. I wonder. If,
Yeah, it's and I don't say that in a fear mongering way. We're
No.
meant to live at peace with all people and to continually put our faith in God's
Muslims need
protection.
Jesus.
They
That's the
need
deal.
Jesus.
They're not
But
our enemy. They
you see
need
this
Jesus.
integration, and it's kind of like if you read this as it's going to be a reestablishing of the Middle Eastern Babylonian type empire. It might affect how you live here in America mentally. Anytime you see you might have that.
I won't
So
live
this is
that
where
long.
theology gets practical. What does that mean for me when I encounter a growing Muslim population here in Michigan? Do I
Huge
still
in
treat
Detroit.
them with dignity and respect? Do I live in fear? Do I cast them aside? Or do I continue to say, you know what, whatever happens, happens?
What's interesting though is, and this is the question that makes you go, okay, is it Islam? Because Islam is not necessarily known for their vices, their luxuries, for their.
They're known for takeover.
They're known for takeover, but when you look at it, the woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and glittering with gold, precious stones and pearls. That's
That's
You
like
can tell into
royalty.
a Lebanese
that's
wedding.
like royalty, but.
Yeah, but that's not Muslim women.
No, that's not Muslim.
She held a golden cup in her hand filled with abominable things and the filth of her fornications. There we go.
Sounds like
So-
You did not read that in your Bible.
You weren't ready to raise your hand, so I figured I just needed to say it. Anyway, but so we don't know. I guess that's what I'm saying. We don't know, but it sure seems like there is some sort of a restored, rejuvenated something that will be a real place. Seems to be. All right. So Babylon is fallen. I want you to see something else. This was really cool. Jeremiah 25. Turn right there. Jeremiah 25.
Should be on the same page.
1. Jeremiah 25, verse 1.
Oh, man.
The word came to Jeremiah concerning all the people of Judah in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, king of Judah, which was the 1st year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. So Jeremiah the prophet said to all the people of Judah and to all those living in Jerusalem, for 23 years from the 13th year of Josiah, son of Ammon, the king of Judah, until this very day, the word of the Lord has come to me, and I have spoken to you again and again, but you have not listened. That was Jeremiah's story. And though the Lord has sent all his servants, the prophets, to you again and again, you have not listened or paid any attention. They said, turn now, each of you, from your evil ways and your evil practices, and you can stay in the land the Lord gave to you and your fathers forever and ever. Do not follow other gods to serve and worship them. Do not provoke me to anger with what your hands have made. Then I will not harm you. But you did not listen. And you have provoked me. It sounds like, as a parent, you are making me do this to you. Yeah, exactly. Therefore the Lord Almighty says, because you have not listened to my words, I will summon all the peoples of the north, and my servant Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, declares the Lord, and I will bring them against this land and its inhabitants, and against all the surrounding nations. I will completely destroy them, and make them an object of horror and scorn, and an everlasting ruin. I will banish from them the sounds of joy and gladness, the voices of bride and bridegroom, the sound of millstones, and the light of the lamp. This whole country will become a desolate wasteland, and these nations will serve the king of Babylon. How long?
70 years.
70 years. But when the 70 years are fulfilled, I will punish the king of Babylon and his nation, the land of the Babylonians, for their guilt, declares the Lord, and will make it desolate forever. I will bring upon that land all the things I have spoken against it, all that are written in this book and prophesied by Jeremiah against all the nations. They themselves will be enslaved by many nations and great kings. I will repay them according to their deeds and the work of their hand. So, history or prophecy?
Still near.
Well, from our perspective, it's yes.
Mainly history. Because this is written by Jeremiah. He's explaining what happened, and he's telling the nation of Israel, you're going to be in captivity for 70 years. Which is why he will tell them later on, settle down, get comfortable. You're going to be there a while. Don't keep praying to me. Now, we know from other passages, why was it 70 years?
For each time of the
give the land its rest.
Yep, Sabbath.
Because the nation of Israel refused to give the land its Sabbath rest every 7 years. They just kept using it for themselves. Why? If your crops are going to get on the 6th year, they're going to provide double, and they still grow the 7th, we're making bank.
Yeah.
They didn't care about God. They were just doing
Mama
it.
didn't raise no dummy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to keep planting because the ground keeps producing. So God says, I'm keeping track. 1, 2.
Hello.
So when it came to the time, he's like, 70 different times you did not let the land rest. Therefore, 70 years of rest. So that's what he did. That was history. Now we get to verse 15.
Can we, sorry,
What's that?
can we actually go back and say we see this in our history
Yep.
books? Okay.
606 was when King Nebuchadnezzar came in the first time. 606 BC, that's when he came the first time. He would end up coming 2 more times. Once in 597, once in 586. 586 was the last time that he would come, and he literally burns the place to the ground. Destroys the entire thing. 586. 536 was when King Darius says, I think it's time you guys go back to your land. So sure enough, 606 to 536, God gave the land a rest. And so we see it in history.
Okay.
Yeah. Verse 15. This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, said to me. Take from my hand this cup filled with the wine of my wrath, and make all the nations to whom I send you drink it. I like this. When they drink it, they will stagger and go mad because of the sword I will send among them. So I took the cup from the Lord's hand and made all the nations to whom he sent me drink it. Jerusalem and the towns of Judah, its kings and officials, to make them a ruin and an object of horror and scorn and cursing as they are today. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, his attendants, his officials, and all his people, and all the foreign people there, all the kings of Uz, all the kings of the Philistines, those of Ashkelon, Gaza, Ekron, and the people left at Ashdod, Edom, Moab, and Ammon, all the kings of Tyre and Sidon. These names should probably be familiar to you guys a little bit. The kings of the coastlands across the sea, Dedan, Taman, Buz, whatever that is, and all who are in distant places, all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the foreign people who live in the desert, all the kings of Zimri, Elam, and Media. Where's Media?
Mead.
The Medes and the Persians.
Iran.
And all the kings of the north. Who are the kings of the north?
Santa.
Jon Snow.
Yeah. The kings of the north would potentially be up into Russia. That would be the kings, the Hittites and all the things, but even further north than that. All the kings of the north. Near and far, one after the other. All the kingdoms on the face of the earth, and after all of them, the king of Sheshach will drink it too.
Cryptogram for Babylon? That's what my notes say.
Sheshach is a cryptogram for Babylon. What's a cryptogram?
Mixing of the word letters.
Go sideways and backwards.
Yeah. It was a code.
Code word.
It was a code word. Isn't it interesting?
Wow.
History 1 to 14, and now all of a sudden Jeremiah is told that I'm going to go send you to the kings of the north. Do we have any record of Jeremiah going to the kings of the north? No? How about the kings across the sea? What was the sea? The Mediterranean. So up into Europe. Egypt. We don't have any record of Jeremiah going to, unless he's like being transported by the ghost of Christmas past or something. But as far as we know, we have no record of Jeremiah going to tell these guys, drink this. So it's almost like we go from 1 to 14 as history. And now we shift 20 and 15 through the end, we move to prophecy. And then when he looks here in verse 27, then tell them, this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel says, drink, get drunk, and vomit, and fall, to rise no more because of the sword I will send among you. I love this. That should be one of those verses, or one of the things in the Bible's Funny game.
Oh, well.
Drink, get drunk, and vomit. That'd be a good one.
That'd be a great memory for kids.
For youth group, man.
New game.
Edit my document.
Drink, get drunk, and vomit, and fall to rise no more.
I'm writing this down, actually.
But I like verse 28. But if they refuse to take the cup from your hand and drink, tell them, this is what the Lord Almighty says, you must drink it. Sounds like me with my kiddos. When they were told to drink vinegar for their potty mouth, we'd give them vinegar, they'd have to drink it. And they'd be like, but I don't want to.
Drink it.
The Lord Almighty says, drink it.
Stand in the bathroom then.
Exactly.
That's what I tell them.
See, I am beginning to bring disaster on the city that bears my name. Which city is that?
Babylon.
Yeah. No. The city that bears my name is Jerusalem. That's Jerusalem. And will you indeed go unpunished? You will not go unpunished, for I am calling down a sword upon all who live on the earth, declares the Lord Almighty. What does that sound like?
Judgment Day.
Tribulation. So, like I said, I want you to see in the Old Testament, we see plenty of examples of history, prophecy, near, far. Right here in Jeremiah chapter 25, clearly we see near and far fulfillment. So I thought it was interesting. Sheshach, the Sheshach. Sheshach, yeah. The Sheshach.
Cryptogram for Babylon.
The use of Sheshach might by Jeremiah. Use of Sheshach by Jeremiah might emphasize the mysterious nature of this city and its eventual downfall. All right, Revelation. Back to chapter 18. Fallen is Babylon the Great. She has become a home for demons and a haunt for every evil spirit, a haunt for every unclean and detestable bird. What is going on with that?
It says unclean in my Bible, all the unclean animals and birds.
Lots of yours, wild goats, hyenas, jackals.
Scavengers.
What lives in the desert?
Vultures,
Yeah, not much.
scavengers.
It's interesting. Do you remember when Jesus healed the demoniac? Or demoniac, I'm not sure which one. Where did he go to encounter the demoniac?
The graves. The desert.
The caves. Remember the caves up in the northeast side of Sea of Galilee? This was a region that nobody went to. Because this guy was literally, he would hurt people, whoever came around. He was out of control. So where does Jesus go find him? He finds him out in the desert, because that's the only place where he can be. So it's what this is emphasizing is the city. This city will become a desolate place where only demons and evil spirits will dare to thrive, will dare to go. It says there, a haunt for every detestable and unclean bird.
Mine says hated bird.
Yeah.
We have turkey buzzards over by us. We live by Pine Rest.
Oh.
Honestly, it's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
They can't get rid of them, and there's hundreds of them.
Really?
Oh.
At Pine Rest?
Yes.
No, they've cleaned
No,
up.
I go walk through there. They're back. They found another
Really?
dwelling place on the complex.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
creepy. It's
Wow.
really creepy.
What do they know that we don't know?
They sense
There's a lot of evil
it.
spirits there.
I remember I was driving down Byron Center Avenue, right there by the M6, and there's a speedway right by M6. And there's a little old farm, they still farm it, but there's like an old silo and a barn, and there were a bunch of turkey vultures sitting on the top, and I'm like just looking at it, I was like 5 or 6. I'm like, those are huge birds.
They're huge.
Yeah, but maybe they took care of all the roadkill for us.
Yeah.
We
They
went to
Watching the new Myers go
What
up.
was that tower?
we just went out
Kind of
east to pick apples
Yeah.
on Thursday, and I bet there were 10 or 12 animals on our way out there, and we were,
Wow.
it was 30, 35 miles,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what animals are these? We won't turn there for the sake of time, but Isaiah 34 tells us that these were screech owls.
Oh, beautiful animals.
Why are they hated? Because they're so noisy?
I guess so. They
They're
screech.
actually terrifying, but they're wonderful.
Yeah, different birds. These would be birds of prey.
They're very
That's what
aggressive.
these would be.
Jackals, hyenas.
Jackals,
Big
hyenas,
animals.
all the different things, even though they're not birds, but that's kind of what's hanging out in the desert.
Just think the Lion King.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the scripture reference? you
Jeremiah
said?
34, 10 through 15. But
thought you said
specifically
Isaiah.
Isaiah
34.
Sorry, Isaiah 34. I'm sorry. I said Jeremiah. You're right. Isaiah 34, 10 through 15. It is interesting. I'll just read this for the sake of time. Isaiah 13, 19 to 22. Isaiah 13. I'll just read this really fast.
You said Isaiah 13?
Isaiah 13,
yeah,
19,
that's what I was going
22.
to say.
And then Jeremiah 51, 37. You can go there. But Isaiah 13, 19 through 22 said,
Totally 21.
Babylon, the jewel of kingdoms. I love that.
Where am I? What?
The glory of the Babylonians' pride will be overthrown by God like Sodom and Gomorrah. What happened to Sodom and Gomorrah?
Salt.
Destroyed.
Or
Literally
destroyed.
just
Burned by
gone.
fire.
Yeah. She will never be inhabited or lived in through all generations. No Arab will pitch his tent there. No shepherd will rest his flocks there. But desert creatures will lie there. Jackals will fill her houses. There the owls will dwell. And there the wild goats will leap about. Hyenas will howl in her strongholds. Jackals in her luxurious palaces. Her time is at hand and her days will not be prolonged. Isn't that a vivid picture? Mm-hmm. It's coming.
What was your Jeremiah 51 passage?
Jeremiah 51:37.
37.
Yeah, sorry. All right, we're over time. Hey, we made it through 3 verses today.
The record.
Wednesday the 8th, seems though we're not meeting that 7th, we have the Women's Night of Worship.
Oh, there you go.
It's awesome too. Somebody's sharing their story, their
Oh,
testimony.
you know what? I'll be at Waterford for Elephants.
Elephants?
That's Wednesday, that's Wednesday night, yeah, we
Wednesday
got
the 8th?
the play.
I tell you, it's hard to schedule something every night of the week.
All right, would you guys prefer the Brandon do something different, or would you prefer the Brandon keep going with Revelation 18?
I'm good with keep going.
Keep going.
Too.
I'm good with going to the bathroom.
But not next week, the week after.
Right, remember, not next week, the week
Not
after.
the 7th.
Yep. All right,
I need to look.
somebody from this side of the room want to close us in prayer today?
I'll close.
Thanks, Paul.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this time that we could come and talk through at least 3 to, I don't know however many passages John brought us to, but thank you for letting us come and enjoy fellowship and learning about Revelation, and give us a great rest of the night and a great week, and let us meet again in a couple weeks. In your name, amen.
Thanks, Paul.